Can one YouTube ad be the secret to skyrocketing your business and creating a billion-dollar company? The answer is yes, and it's a lot simpler than you think. Hi, my name is Shaf Singh, and I'm the owner of Linx Digital Agency. We help 6- and 7-figure e-commerce businesses grow to 8 figures with YouTube advertising. In this video, I'm going to break down a really cool success story that I saw when I was, a lot younger, and I watched this company grow, and I really got inspired by them to start doing YouTube ads. So I wanted to share this company's success and basically teach you guys the same lessons that I learned from them and their advertising strategy. So the company is Dollar Shave Club, and they went from zero to $1 billion in around 5 years, all thanks to YouTube advertising. And all thanks to one YouTube ad. That's crazy. Look, they didn't really have a huge production budget. They didn't have an exceptional marketing team. They didn't even have professional actors. So in today's video, I'm going to break down Dollar Shave Club's history, the ad itself, and most importantly, I'll show you how any e-commerce company can leverage YouTube ads to achieve similar results. So let's get cracking. It's not every day an old high school friend texts you and asks, "Hey man, I got over 250,000 razor blades sitting in my warehouse in South Korea. Any idea on how I can sell them out?" And the crazy thing is this question led to the creation of this billion-dollar company. But that's exactly the story of Mike Dubin. So Mike was basically trying to make it big in the world of improv and stand-up comedy, and he had moved to LA, but he wasn't having that much success. And then he got that text from his old friend Mark Levine, and then a light bulb went off in his head. See, Mike, just like millions of young men all over the globe, hated shopping for new blades because they're so expensive, and he didn't want to spend $20 a month on blades. It's ridiculous. So together with his friend, he came up with a very simple idea. What if he offered really great razor blades straight to the customer's door for a really great price? That sounds simple, but there was a problem. The US razor blade market was dominated by Gillette and Schlick, who between them own over 80% of the market. Mike knew his business needed to stand out and not just sell razors, but be a complete men's lifestyle brand. And so Dollar Shave Club was born. But they faced another problem. Because they were just starting out with a bootstrap budget, they didn't really have any budget for marketing and sales. And there was not much wiggle room to find the winning ad and spend a lot of money. So Mark and Mike figured if there was one place they could stand out, it would be YouTube. And that was their winning strategy. So these guys knew their audience, right? It was young men. And what do young men like? Number one, they love humor. They don't like taking life too seriously. But every single ad from every other razor company was just very corporate-y, very stuffy, and it focused way too much on the feature of the blade. Oh, this blade is, has the Air Force blade, etc. And it really didn't mean a lot to most people. So immediately they wanted to try something different, which was try a funny ad that wasn't professional. With his background in stand-up comedy, a $4,500 production budget, and just one day to do the shoot, Mike decided to go for it with a really funny script. He got this ad built, and little did he know that the ad would get viewed over 25 million times, going viral and generating millions and millions of dollars in the process. And when I say going viral, I mean it. The video aired on YouTube at 6 a.m. and at 7:30, their website crashed. And that's when Dubin thought his best dream was turning into his absolute worst nightmare. But after everything was restored, they basically sold out of their 250,000 razor blades in 72 hours. The ad was so successful, people were pulling out their credit cards and joining a waiting list, even if they couldn't immediately place their order. It wasn't just the ad though. The offer itself was unturndownable. At just a $1 per razor and $2 for shipping, a customer only had to pay $3 to get their blades without the hassle of leaving their house. And it's a subscription-based model, so basically people keep renewing over and over and over again. And basically it's an auto-renew kind of option, and if they don't want to renew, then they cancel. Now, the reason why a subscription-based model works is two reasons. Number one, it allows them to build really brand loyalty, right? Like if you use the same of something every single month, you have a certain loyalty to the brand. The second is that once you are in a subscription, it's really hard to cancel because quite frankly, you don't feel like it, right? Like I imagine you have Netflix, right? Like you really don't want to cancel it. You're used to using it. Sure, Amazon Prime may look cool, but you're kind of used to Netflix. You don't want to let go of it. So very few people cancel on Netflix. And when you have that model, you can build a huge customer base and basically have them buying over and over again. Now, this ad also basically helped them find the right investors to take their company to the next level. So basically, the day after they released the ad, the company announced they were looking for investors. And they basically raised over $9.8 million from Science Inc. So this ad basically got this company their first real volume of customers, and it also got them investors. And then from there, it was only uphill until they got acquired by Unilever for over $1 billion. So what was special about this ad? I'll break it down for you in just a minute. But first, it's worth mentioning that one of the reasons that DSC kept growing is because they spent so much focus and time on their customers and really creating the perfect product for them. They spent months studying their customers, talking to them, and really understanding their pain points and figuring out what issues they had with their current, basically, razor provider. And what this led to is they created a product that basically the customers loved, and the customers found the product and the ad funny, and this created this company brand that basically was this funny, humorous brand, but also extremely cost-effective and without any of the BS that big brands provide. Now, on top of the products itself, they actually, in their monthly subscription, would receive a Bathroom Minutes magazine that increased basically their retention rate. So in their first year, they did over $4 million. 2 years later, I believe they did $150 million. And then after a few more years of that, they sold to Unilever for $1 billion. So they didn't make all this money just by selling cheap razor blades. They did it by really listening and understanding and speaking to their customers and understanding their real pain points. And what they did is constantly survey their customers. So they asked their customers, hey, what do you want? One of the surveys revealed that a lot of people wanted butt wipes, and that's what they created. So the biggest advantage this company had was its open communication with its existing customers. They basically just surveyed their customers to figure out what they wanted from their products. And that's how they came up with upsells. They sell all kinds of products now, including skincare products. And honestly, it's crazy that people just don't survey their own customers. Literally send out an email asking them what other products they want, and then the products that people want the most, figure out how to sell them to your customers, right? Like it makes so much sense. Now let's take a look at the actual ad and figure out what led to it performing so well and basically going viral and getting so much reach. And even today, they're pretty reliant on their YouTube ad strategy. That's a significant part of their paid acquisition strategy. So fair enough, this was 9 years ago, so there weren't as many people using YouTube ads, so their customer acquisition costs were lower. However, the core foundations of this ad will work today. Sure, you may not be able to get that cheap of a cost per acquisition, but you should still be able to get a lot of customers as long as you're selling something where you can liquidate your cost per acquisition, right? So if you think about it, right, what's the number one platform that comes to mind when you think about ads? Right now, it's Facebook. And because of that, Facebook is often more overpriced than YouTube. And even today, like YouTube ads for e-commerce are definitely underpriced as compared to Facebook ads. And honestly, with all the compliance issues, business managers getting shut down, I literally just got my business manager shut down 2 days ago. Maybe like 50% of my clients have gotten their business managers shut down. It's really important to basically have other traffic sources, and YouTube ads has a similar conversion rate or even higher conversion rate than Facebook ads, while still being quite affordable. And in many cases for e-com clients, we've seen it outperform Facebook ads. Now, obviously, it would have been ideal to get into YouTube ads years ago when it was super cheap, but it's still an amazing time now. The algorithm's a lot better, so it's better at getting customers. While when I started YouTube ads around 5 years ago, you didn't have an algorithm. So even if the ad costs are more expensive now, YouTube is way better at finding customers. So let's get into why this actual ad worked. And there are 4 reasons, right? So let's basically go over the actual ad, and I'm gonna show you the ad.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door.
All right, so the first thing that makes this ad work super well is the attention-grabbing first shot, right? When the ad starts, the viewer sees a young man sitting behind a desk in the office with a complete mess in the background. And then Mike hits the viewer with an attention-grabbing line. Hi, I'm Mike, and here, you can actually hear the attention-grabbing line here. So basically, right off the bat, he's telling you what he's about and what he sells and the price. So immediately, if they're not interested, they're probably going to skip the ad. But if they're in the target market, they're probably going to keep watching because, he basically gets their attention with that whole visual scene in the first part of the ad. They basically give you their value proposition in the hook of the video and grab a lot of attention. And then the next statement he says, which is, hey, are our blades any good? No, they're effing great. Honestly, it basically gets people to understand that, hey, this is a really funny ad. This is an interesting ad. He's being controversial. Basically, at this point, your attention is hooked because this is so unusual. This is so different than every other ad out there. He comes in with a very direct statement and then just immediately makes kind of like a joke that also strengthens his product.
Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are great.
Now notice in this video how he immediately starts moving. So movement really improves conversion rates with video ads and makes the video ads a lot more engaging. So if you're shooting ads, one thing you can try to do is actually walk and talk. Now I know it's a little bit harder, but if you're shooting ads, that can actually improve the results you get from your ads.
Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it.
It's so gentler, a toddler can use it, right? So he's immediately just getting into humor, but also talking about why the product is great. And then he obviously has that image of a guy there with his toddler shaving his head. And on top of that, the guy's reading the Lean Startup, right? So he obviously made this video because he thought it would be funny, right? Like he adds these little things in there. It's just basically an ad that he kind of made for the fun of it, but while also making it work really well with direct response marketing.
And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
So, and in this part, he says, hey, do you like spending $20 on the razor? And then basically says 19 goes to Roger Federer. So he's basically saying that, hey, with these name brand razors, you're essentially paying for marketing. You're not paying for the product. You're paying for the fancy name who endorses the product.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades?
So this is great. He gets into another big pain point, right? These big razor companies, they add in all these fancy features and make their product overpriced. And he's just like, hey, do you really need all that stuff? No, you just need a razor that just works really, really great and does its job. You don't need a fancy, technological marvel.
Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you.
So this part is important because he says he's going to basically ship the blades right to you, right? And then obviously, as you see, there's more humor. He has this guy basically shipping them.
We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
Again, more humor, kind of showing that, okay, this company cares, this company's funny. They're not just a big corporate behemoth, right? Like the whole basically setup in this video is, hey, we give you a really great product for really cheap, right to your house. That's a value proposition, right? You save money, you don't have to think about it, you get it, it's convenient. But on top of that, he's also selling this idea of like, hey, we're a young, fun company. We're not some corporate behemoth that basically has these overpaid sponsors. We're just kind of a bunch of guys just basically selling a great product.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
So this part is really funny. Basically says, oh yeah, we're Dollar Shave Club and the party's on. And it's literally him, the guy in the beer costume, America, and a bunch of dollar bills, and Alejandra. So it's just really, really funny. And then we get around a minute 24 in where it's like, hey, isn't it about time? DollarShaveClub.com. So basically, he's giving you the website URL in the end of the video, right? So you can go and find the video. So overall, an awesome ad. Now, there's a few things in this video I want to kind of cover again. So one of them is the fact that they mentioned their brand name many times over, so people know what it is. They also have these little call to actions that basically tell the viewers, hey, if you're tired of overpaying for your basically blades, you should, stop doing that, right? They're giving these little call to actions, and at the end they have their real call to action. They're like, yep, go to dollarshaveclub.com. They have the URL in the end of the video. Now, the second part I really loved was the ads call out the absurdity of their competitors. So basically, he asks, as he said, like, do you really need such a fancy blade with a back scratcher? No, you don't. You just want a blade that works effing great, right? So basically, the reason they buy this is, number one, they save money to get the feature they want, which is a beard that works great. Number two, it's delivered straight to their house, so they don't have to think about it. And number three, it's monthly, so they don't even have to do anything. So it's basically convenience combined with cost savings, which is extremely powerful. Now, I hope that kind of gave you some insights as to why this ad did so well. And I really do think this ad is what catapulted them and helped them build $1 billion business. It got them their first customers, it got them their investors, it basically got them so many paying clients. And it's really what established them as a major player in the space. And that's how they got to $1 billion acquisition. Now, here's the thing. If you're interested in this kind of thing, I actually have a video on how to make e-commerce video ads. So be sure to go check it out by clicking the link above or below. And as you can see, even if you don't have a huge marketing budget, you can leverage the power of YouTube ads to grow your business. So they did this with a $4,500 investment into their ads, and it just blew their company up. So I get a lot of people saying, hey, I don't want to spend money on video ads. Video ads are too expensive. And it's kind of ridiculous when you look at these success stories of companies making millions or billions of dollars. And even for our own clients, we've had clients like Indestructible Shoes and Kino Body, where they've put a lot of effort into their ads and a decent amount of budget, and it's led to 7-figure results, and it's led to them going viral. Now that you know the exact elements that worked in this ad, and then you can combine that with the targeting and retargeting practices that you see in my YouTube channel, the sky's the limit. I hope this video was useful for you. And once again, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button. And if you want to watch more videos like this, let me know in the comment section what's the next video you'd like me to make. And then go check out that video where I talk about how to shoot YouTube e-commerce ads. So thanks for watching once again. Cheers.